This is the history of the English language work. We're going to talk about the first and the second chapter of the book. It talks a little about the English language and its origins. English is spoken in most countries of the world. It is the first language of 370 to 400 million people. English is probably used by a quarter of all the people in the world. In so many places, it is called the world language. In countries like Britain and the US, English is the first language people learn as children, and they use it to communicate all the time.
In some countries, large number of people use English as a second language. They have their own first language, but they use it in education, business, government, radio, and television. It is also used in many different kinds of international communication. In places like Amsterdam, people can speak English because of tourism. It's important because it is used extremely widely.
English started spreading around the world with British settlements in America, Australia, and Asia in the 17th and 18th century, and in Africa and in South Pacific in the 19th century. Also, it became important internationally because Britain was the most important industrial nation in the world. In the 20th century, it grew for international business.
Sir William Jones reported some similarities between Sanskrit, Latin, Greek, and other European languages. He believed that all languages came from a common source, which had disappeared. This common source is known as Proto-Indo-European. It came from a group called the Kurgans. They lived in what is now southern Russia from some time after 5000 BC. They spread across West Europe and East Asia. They separated from each other and began to develop stronger differences in their dialect, which, with time, became different languages.
The Celts were the first group of Indo-European speakers to move across Europe. They moved to a lot of different places, and as they traveled, different dialects started to develop. Celts from different countries started to speak different language. And this is the map of the places that the Celtic people went.
In AD 43, the Romans invaded Britain, as they wanted to take advantage of the island's good farming land and the valuable metals. They controlled almost all of English as it is known, and stayed there for almost 400 years. They brought with them a whole new lifestyle. British Celts in the upper classes became used to life with laws, police, roads, baths, and theaters. They also introduced a new language called Latin, which some people learned to speak and write. But a new language did not develop from Latin in Britain like Spanish did in Spain.
Romans grew weaker in the middle of the 3rd century AD as the Germanic people of the north invaded their lands. Rome left Britain in AD 410, leaving the country in danger from other invaders. Three Germanic people, the Jutes, the Angles, and the Saxons, came to Britain in large number and settled on the lands belonging of British Celts, who spread around Europe. These people organized themselves in 7 kingdoms in what is now England and the southeast Scotland.
The invaders called British Celts Welles, which means foreigners. From Welles came the modern English word Welsh. The British Celts at first used Saxons to refer to the invaders, but then, in the 6th century, they started using the word Angli to mean the whole group of them. Later, Angli became Anglo, and today we call them Anglo-Saxons. We can say that English developed from the many Germanic dialects used by these people.